Great. So, good evening, everybody, once again, and request you all to be on mute, firstly. Yeah. Okay, so Atma Namaste, and we welcome you at Care of Mind, Body, Soul for a very insightful and an interesting workshop on graphology, which is the science of handwriting, understanding personality traits from one's handwriting. So, is English language fine with you all, or should it be a mixture of Hindi and English? You can just type in the chat box.
हाँ हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश
Hindi and English, चलो ठीक है बढ़िया है ना. Rest all I think are good with Hindi also, right? So I'll quickly मैं मेरा screen share कर देती हूँ. So आज के workshop का नाम है Ink and Insights and Decode Your Handwriting through Graphology. Because हमें जो स्कूल से सिखाया जाता है वो एक स्पेसिफिक लैंग्वेज में हम लिखते हैं. Actually, irrespective of any language you pick up to write, हम दो ही फॉर्मेशंस करते हैं. चेक योर हैंडराइटिंग, पिक अप एनी लेटर. आप इधर अपवर्ड स्ट्रोक करते हो या डाउनवर्ड स्ट्रोक करते हो. अगर लेटर एल लिख रहे हो, सो यू आर मूविंग योर finger movement, your pen movement upward, and then you come downward and again up. If you're writing the letter T, you're going up, you're coming down, and then आप horizontal crossbar बनाते हो, right? So 99% of the time it's always up and down, just like a graph. ECG report आता है ना, तो it's just like a graph, right? Okay, and so you're actually going to study today graphical presentation of your own handwriting, and it's going to be an interesting one. Okay, a brief about us for those especially who have connected with us for the first time. So our brand's name is Care of Mind, Body, Soul. We are a house of alternative healing therapies, जहां हम individuals, education institutes, entrepreneurs, startups, as well as corporates को service provide करते हैं, especially through three foundations, I can say. One is nurturing, sowing the seeds well, planting them well in form of habits हो गए, mindset हो गया. I'll talk about the modalities also, what we practice, help you evolve and then grow, right? And how we do it? Again, 4 areas through assessment, जहाँ पे graphology, pendulum, dowsing, drawing analysis that Afshan ma'am is an expert at. We analyze, we understand you better through the assessment process of these modalities. Counseling we provide करते हैं, coaching as well as training. Okay. Now, first to begin with an introduction about Afshan ma'am. So she's one of the co-founders of Care of Mind, Body, Soul. काफी लोगों ने अभी इंटरेक्ट भी किया उनके साथ. Let me see if I can add her on the spotlight. Yes. Okay, great. By qualification, Afshan is an MA B.Ed, as you see, postgraduate in counseling, an alumni of Indian Board of Alternative Medicines, and overall उनकी expertise का more than 40 years का उनका experience है. So now don't guess her age. She is too young, very young, youngest of all of you sitting here today, all of us, right? And she is a practicing counselor, practice certified, in fact, a well-known clinical hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, graphologist, and the best part is Afshan is an excellent therapist when it comes to batch flower and metaphor. We'll talk in the end, if time bacha to, just a brief, Afshan will tell us about it. A Reiki grandmaster, so she's a healer, a behavioral trainer, and I've shared about her experience. Afshan ma'am ko काफी recognition भी मिला है at various forums for all the work she is doing for the humanity, okay? To serve humanity rather, right? And this is me. Most of you know me already. So brief में, ज़्यादा detail में नहीं. By qualification and MBA. लेकिन and when I was in my 7th grade, I had learned Reiki, and my mother has been my guide. So my spiritual journey had started quite early. I'm blessed, in fact. And after my 12th, I had learned graphology, tarot, और अलग-अलग modalities सीखते गई, along with my corporate job of more than 12 years of experience with brands like Tata Chroma, Mercedes-Benz. I worked with TCS, with emphasis in IT and then in HR profile. Hamesha se I have been helping people through practice of graphology, tarot, dowsing, various other modalities, in fact. Journey began together with Care of Mind, Body, Soul, as our vision was very parallel to help people, right? And yes, a bit of experience, and also experience more than I can say 20 years now, recognition received at various forums. So we really are thankful to the universe for always recognizing us, right? Now let's come to the interesting part for which you all have been waiting for. What is handwriting analysis? मैंने शुरुआत में hint तो आपको दे ही दिया है, okay? So Afshan, let me know whenever you want to add something, okay?
All right.
Yeah. So in a very simple term, your handwriting, first of all, is your brain writing. That's why मैंने थोड़े देर पहले कहा था, आप कोई भी लैंग्वेज में लिखना शुरू करो, ड्रॉ करना भी शुरू करो, है ना? Your brain, जैसे आपको पता है, your brain triggers every organ, every part of your body. It's always the connection. Signals यहाँ से आते हैं, right? आपने कुछ तीखा खा लिया, है ना? Your brain will tell you, drink water now. Your tongue will sense that it is spicy, correct? When you're excited, when you're feeling sad, we usually use the word I'm depressed or I'm too happy, right? So expression of emotions भी यहाँ से ही flow होता है. उसी तरह जब आप लिखते हो, it's always your brain that signals, अब ये letter लिखना है, अब ये word लिखना है, this is what you want to express, so this is how your movement should be, right? And हमारे सारे personality traits हमारे subconscious mind में ही stored रहते हैं, which is 90% of our mind. So since the time हम सब as a fetus रहे हैं अपने mother के womb में till date and beyond, everything we see, hear, observe, learn, all our fears, hidden emotions, hidden traits, ये सब कुछ ये permanent hard disk में stored रहता है. You can't erase it, okay? So basically, graphology जो term है, it's bifurcated into two parts. First is graph, that means writing, and ology is study of the writing. All right, so your handwriting is your brain writing. क्या आप जानते हो that एक person from one writer's handwriting at least 200 plus personality traits पता चलते हैं. Okay, so each one of us at the conscious level carry a mask. Agreed? It's a fact. हम सबके अलग अलग चेहरे होते हैं, मास्क होते हैं, depending on different situations. Maybe you're somebody who is very quiet, but suddenly there is a burst of an anger emotion जो आपने भी नहीं सोचा होगा कि अरे मुझे इतना गुस्सा भी आता है. Or maybe you have some hidden potential you never tapped till date. You've suddenly realized it and you're working on it, right? So more than 200 plus personality traits can be known from one's handwriting. Interesting, right? So खुली किताब. Okay, so for us to evaluate, सामने वाला कुछ भी बोले, अगर उसकी handwriting है ना, without even knowing who the person is, by the way, even a stranger's handwriting, you can read it like a book, in and out. Okay, अभी यहाँ पे just brief बता रही हूँ some of the traits that can be known from one's handwriting. सबसे पहले तो आपके core strengths क्या है? What is it that you are really competent to do in life? आपका relationship बचपन में कैसे रहा है with yourself, your family and your social environment. Now this is very important. A lot of cases आपने देखा होगा, सुना होगा, people are having relationship issues. They don't know how to attract abundance in their life, right? या फिर health की तकलीफ है, या constantly मतलब mental health issues है. They are very much on the rise. कहीं ना कहीं काफी बार उसका root connection बचपन से आता है. किसी ने बुली एक्सपीरियंस किया है, या हमें बताया गया यू आर नॉट गुड एट डूइंग दिस, हम वही सुनते गए, इंफीरियोरिटी में जीते गए, यू नो. सो एवरीथिंग कैन बी नोन फ्रॉम द राइटिंग. इमोशनल स्टेबिलिटी, हाउ डू यू रिएक्ट और रिस्पॉन्ड टू सर्टेन सिचुएशंस इन योर लाइफ, राइट? एंड आपके जो भी इंटरनल फॉर एग्जाम्पल थॉट्स हो गए, कोई फियर है, फियर ऑफ लॉस है, यू नो दिस समथिंग दैट्स बीन ट्रबलिंग यू सिंस अ व्हाइल, वो भी पता चलता है. आपका जो भी बिहेवियर, स्वभाव बाहर से दिखता है, दैट इज एन आउटकम, लेकिन उसका रूट कॉज क्या है, क्यों वो इंसान उस तरह से बिहेव कर रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, काफी बार, आई थिंक देयर आर मैक्सिमम विमेन आउट हियर, सो या आई विल कनेक्ट टू यू ऑल. बहुत सिंपल एग्जाम्पल है, काफी बार आपने एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा दैट आपके स्पाउस, कोई मैरिड है तो यहाँ पे कभी कभार ऑल ऑफ अ सडन आप पे चिल्लाते हैं एंड कंटिन्यूअसली विदाउट यू बीइंग एट फॉल्ट, या आप भी वो करते होंगे या आपके बच्चे पे करते होंगे. वो क्यों हो रहा है? What is your social behavior outside with friends and how you are in the family, और खुद के साथ रहते हो तब कैसे रहते हो? You can exactly know that from the writing. Can you all hear me? I'm audible, right? Okay, perfect, perfect. I got some error with the audio, so I got worried. Any hidden harmful traits? जैसे we have seen certain cases where बचपन से स्पेशली ये डेवलप होता है जहाँ लोगों को बच्चों को इनफैक्ट झूठ बोलने की आदत हो जाती है एंड ऑफ कोर्स मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम कोई तो बड़ा उसे एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है, बच्चा देख रहा है. So सबसे पहले if there are parents sitting here, understand that if you expect the best version of your child, you got to be the best first. Okay, it's like जब भी आपको फोटोकॉपी निकालनी है तो फोटोकॉपी की क्वालिटी अच्छी कब रहेगी? जब ओरिजिनल कॉपी सही रहेगी. So for your family, you are the original copy. Don't forget that, to have the best photocopy printed in your life. Okay, so any harmful traits like dishonesty, झूठ बोलना, या सो आई वाज कमिंग टू अ पॉइंट दैट ऐसे बच्चे बड़े होने के बाद भी टीनेजर एडल्ट बनते हैं एंड दे आर नॉट कॉट इजीली, सो दे कैन लाई फ्रॉम द स्किन ऑफ योर टीथ एंड दे कैन नेवर बी कॉट. Those traits can be known from one's handwriting. अगर एक पैटर्न है, लॉट ऑफ फीमेल एम्प्लॉइज डू कम टू अस दैट हमेशा गलत बॉस सिलेक्ट करते लाइफ में. मेल बॉस हो गया या फीमेल बॉस भी हो सकता है, हमेशा उनको ऐसे ही बॉसेस मिलते हैं जो परेशान करते हैं. So instead of correcting the boss, we just take that lady's handwriting. क्योंकि उसमें पूरा पैटर्न समझ में आता है. What is she or he attracting in life? Any cases of addiction, self-harming traits. मतलब किसी ने ट्राई नहीं किया है लेकिन कॉन्स्टेंटली थॉट आ रहा है कि मैं खुद को ये कर दूं, वो कर दूं, है ना. ट्रेट्स ऑफ सुसाइडल अटेम्प्ट हो सकते हैं. If it's in your mind constantly, it will reflect in your writing. I'll share a case study in the end. मुझे remind करना on this of a well-known homeopath doctor, in fact, from Mumbai. So intellectual quotient पता चलता है, आपकी learning ability कैसी है. Do you like? Are you a good reader? है ना? Are you a foodie? Is your mom cooking delicious food for you? Or has she been a great cook? सब पता चलता है, right? Of course, leadership traits बहुत important है. And certain areas of concern, if any, even that can be known from the writing. And there is lot more. Interesting, right? If you're finding it interesting, or you can type a yes in the chat box or show me a thumbs up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Super. Now we are going to dive into this interesting topic. Thank you to all those who are responding. Amazing. Great. So now we are diving into the main topic, first topic, that is known as margin. किसी ने ये थॉट मतलब आया किसी के दिमाग में दैट व्हाई आर वी आस्क्ड टू राइट ऑन एन अनरूल्ड शीट ऑफ पेपर? व्हाई नॉट विदाउट लाइन? ब्लैंक पेपर पे क्यों लिखना है? हमें तो आदत होती है ना लाइन वाले डायरी में लिखो. सिर्फ ड्राइंग हम अनरूल्ड शीट पे करते. योर आंसर इज राइट हियर, द टॉपिक इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. सो आपका पूरा जो पेज है, that actually represents 24 hours of your day. It represents your life, your journey of life. Okay? मतलब क्या? Margins actually represent your approach towards the environment. दो आपके पेज पे कोई मार्जिन नहीं है, रेड लाइन, ब्लू लाइन, कुछ नहीं है. अभी खुद की हैंडराइटिंग देखिए and you would realize in your own handwriting, you have drawn your own visionary margin. किसी का हैंडराइटिंग बहुत लेफ्ट साइड पे होगा, किसी का डांस कर रहा होगा लेफ्ट से दूर. विल कवर डिफरेंट टाइप्स. किसी का राइट साइड पे बहुत नजदीक होगा, राइट. डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स है ना. आई सी लवली स्माइल्स ऑलरेडी. अभी तो एक्साइटमेंट है स्टार्टेड, राइट. सो व्हाट डज इट मीन? नाउ व्हेन वी स्पेसिफिकली टॉक अबाउट a visionary line that we have drawn. Drawn means आपका handwriting कहाँ शुरू हो रहा है, start में और end तक हमें देखना है. Left side of the margin actually shows the line of society. बच्चों को जब बुक्स में हम लिखने को शुरुआत करते हैं, you always use a notebook or a register where there is a red line on the left side, and we train them. ये left side में इसके beyond नहीं लिखना है, आगे ही लिखना है. That's a line of society. Red signal, traffic ka, right? It actually indicates your attachment to your origins. Origins matlab your family. It could be your place of birth also. It can also be certain rules of the society you're following in terms of discipline, right? Similarly, upper margin also, but we'll see variations between left and right more because हम वो ज़्यादा compare करते हैं when you write upper and lower में बहुत ज़्यादा fluctuation या variations usually नहीं होता है, right? And yeah, so then we come to right margin and lower margin. Right margin, it's not prediction about future, लेकिन आपका approach क्या है towards future. Are you somebody जो रिस्क लेने को तैयार है लाइफ में या बहुत ज्यादा कॉशियस हो हर चीज के लिए? आपने कोई अपॉर्चुनिटीज पास्ट में मिस की है, you're regretting that, or right now you're being extremely careful while taking up any new opportunity in life? गोल ओरिएंटेड कितने हो, right? वहीं पे पता चलेगा that whether you are able to achieve your goals in the first place. Are you mentally ready for it? Okay. And similarly is the lower margin, right? All good? Everybody on the same page so far? Great, great, great. Okay. अब आप सब आपका handwriting देख सकते हैं. Now we come to different types of margin. First, we will study three very basic types of left margin. Okay. जब आप आपका page, keep your paper straight in front of you and see the left side of your page. When left side of the page appears to be straight, like you can keep a scale, and अगर वो straight आ रहा है, that is around 10 to 15% of the width of the sheet of the paper. 10-15% space आपने उतना छोड़ा है और straight आ रहा है. First of all, that person, the writer, has been brought up in a very disciplined environment. Strict नहीं, disciplined. Okay? तो आप उनको पूछ सकते हो कि क्या आप boarding school में पढ़े हो या फिर आपके family में either of your parents or both your parents have been very disciplined और आपको भी उसकी आदत है. So it shows good level of self-discipline also. Somebody who likes to live a very simple life, है ना, उनको personal space चाहिए. Suddenly guest घर में आना, surprises, they will not entertain it always. Okay, you need to inform them beforehand. And बहुत ज़्यादा उनको सवाल पूछे तो irritation होता है. Whether they express or no, वो अलग topic से हम देखेंगे, लेकिन mind में. Right, so they also give space to others and they love their own personal space. कभी कभार कुछ ज्यादा ही सेल्फ कंट्रोल करते हैं हर चीज में कि एक्सप्रेस ही नहीं कर पाते कोई चीज, राइट? So do we have anybody here with straight and regular left margin? You all can raise your hands. And in this there is nothing right or wrong in terms of your analysis. Of course has to be accurate, but personality traits I'm talking about. हर इंसान, there are different sides to all of us. Lovely, Priyanka, so you're able to relate with it, right? You're on mute, dear. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think so, but I have to show you if I am correct. Can I just show you?
Yes, sure. Wait, I'll put you on the spotlight. Yeah, please. Everybody will get to see.
Can you see?
Yes. So this is a straight left margin plus the next topic that I'm going to cover. So if I may ask you, have you been brought up in a disciplined environment in your child?
I don't know, but my father was very strict, and he always told us to get up on time. And I mean, I was always raised like that. My mother always used to get up 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's how it is.
Yeah. So yes, that's a disciplined environment.
Yeah.
Definitely. Following rules, following time schedule.
Yeah.
Following
Yes.
your list. है ना? Making one and following
Yeah.
that. Very nice, very nice. Anybody else we have here? Okay, Dr. Sadhna, I'll add you on the spotlight. Yes. So tell me. Oh, yes. It is straight, yes. And the third variation of left margin also will come. So have you been brought up in a disciplined environment and even you like to follow? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Each one
Me
of you
too.
able to find yourself through your handwriting today. Okay, great. So I'll just share the slide again. Next, we come to a narrow left margin. Whether your left margin is straight or not, but it is very close to the left side of the page. Which Priyanka you have? Dr. Sadhna ka exactly opposite है. Wide है left margin. I'm going to cover that next. But so basically, when we talk about narrow left, second. I'm getting a message all the time. Hold on, let me just check my audio settings. Just one moment. Yeah, everything seems to be good. Okay. All right. You're able to see the slideshow, right? Okay, perfect. They're very attached to their family, very attached to the origins. So you would see many people who have a narrow left margin usually talk about their childhood memories. हमारे टाइम पे ये होता था, हमारा घर ऐसा था, very attached to it. Right? Yeah, Priyanka is smiling. They will talk about their parents, their grandparents. They will always tell their kids about their childhood memories, right? They have a good sense of saving also. And economically, they're very cautious about their money aspect also. थोड़े shy है, introvert है. They take time to connect with people around, though they may interact. But वो internally a connection, it takes time. They're very selective, in fact, right? And sometimes in a social circle, they find it difficult to express themselves. So जैसे for example, उनको आप खाना दो, उनको अगर पसंद भी नहीं आया, नमक भी ज्यादा होगा उसमें, वो लोग openly कभी नहीं बोलेंगे, because it can hurt somebody. They will just have it, right? Okay, Prerna also is saying true. Fantastic. All right. Okay, Prerna, no problem. I've read your message. Take care. Yeah, you can exit, no problem. I'm recording it, so I'll share it in the group also. Okay, next we come to an interesting topic, that is a wide left margin. So relatively, there is more space left on the left-hand side, which is around 15 to 25%, right? Very strong possibility that this writer is staying away from their place of birth. So Dr. Sadhna, are you staying away from your place? Yes, she's nodding her head already. Okay, there are two aspects. Either they are staying away already or they are thinking about it. So when you see a lot of youngsters, newly married couples, some of them you would find having this space. So you can ask them, either are you staying away from your place of birth or are you planning to? Okay. And they love to give surprises, surprise gifts to their loved ones, especially. And especially unke birthday ke liye, they'll plan out something, right? And they're very generous, spendthrift also. दिल खोल के खर्चा करेंगे. And also extrovert, right? And of course, for extroversion, we do evaluate other parameters. But yes, this also tells us the person is quite an extrovert, likes to interact socially with people. Okay. All right. Next, now we move to the right margin. When the right side of your writing, now you have to compare as compared to your page. Okay, around 8 to 10% space you have left, and right side pe abhi straight dikh raha hai, just the way it's shown in the image over here. They are bold, they are confident about facing their future, as right side indicates approach towards future, right? They are quite expressive in their relationships also, right? And they will maintain self-control, yes, to an extent. At times, they find it difficult to connect with others. So suddenly, if you go to a straight right margin and you tell them that I'm strongly connected, I have a great bond with you, thoda absorb karne mein unko time lagega. Okay, all right. Then we have a narrow right margin, where the handwriting is very closely written. I mean, the moment you look at the page, you would feel वो इंसान बहुत rush में है. Right side पे ही ज़्यादा लिखा है. There's hardly any space left on the right hand side. So they are risk takers. A lot of startups would, entrepreneurs would have this kind of formation. They're ready to explore new opportunities, face challenges in life, right? And they also maybe are looking forward to a new role in a company. It can be new job opportunity or relocation to a different place. So in short, they're ready to explore new things in their life. Okay. And then we have a wide right margin where there is good amount of space left on the right hand side of the page. Very, very less amount of risk. They will put their hands into something only if they're confident that I'm going to win. but वो तो always possible नहीं होता ना, until and unless you don't experience failure, तब तक हम success को you just can't enjoy it, or you won't know the process until we fail, right? But yes, they're very cautious, maybe because of past experiences हो सकते हैं, very fearful about taking any risk in life, they prefer to live in their comfort zone, ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेंगे, बहुत एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट्स नहीं लेंगे टू अचीव समथिंग इन लाइफ, हैप्पी गो लकी होते हैं बहुत, right? So as I said earlier, maybe they have missed certain opportunities in their life, especially career related. So you can always ask them questions. Did you have any specific opportunities that you have missed earlier? You'll always hear a yes from them. Priyank also is mentioning me too. Okay, fantastic. All right. So how many of you with the topic of margins could relate yourself with your handwriting and your personality traits? You can just raise your hands. Okay. Supriya, yes. Dr. Sadhna, yes. Kasturi, yes. Ishita, yes. Fantastic. All right, all right. So Linika, Zenat, get to find which margin? Yeah, you could connect. Okay, perfect, perfect. All right. There are more variations to it. Huh? Today we just want to give you a taste. Definitely sharing. Yes,
Can I interrupt you?
please, please.
Yeah. So I have one where I have a narrow left and a narrow right. I have the other. It's a narrow left and a broader right. So I don't know which one to look at. So I have like multiple handwritings over here that I am looking at.
How many pages
Oh,
have
yeah.
you written?
No, so these are what I do is when I'm doing my schoolwork, I keep on writing. So
Okay.
some verses or some, verses that I have to narrate when I'm with parents. So I write and I just write for writing, copying something. So now I don't know which one am I like.
For today, which one have you written?
I just picked up a page and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to show you. So am I that then?
Okay. So see, this is just like we generally don't read a doctor's prescription for handwriting analysis. Because when they write, they are in a hurry. Fatafat prescription likh do aur ho gaya. But when you ask them to write just the way you are asked to write for today, है ना? In a relaxed state of mind, आपको अपने बारे में लिखना है, about yourself. That time the handwriting formation comes across as different. So depending on the state of mind you were in when you were writing. So that's why what you can do is, chahiye to after the workshop, just give yourself some time on one unruled sheet of paper. Start writing about yourself, your hobbies. It could be about your family, your likes, your dislikes, anything, a letter to yourself. And then
Right.
see, yeah. But if it is narrow, to answer you, if it is narrow, some people don't leave any space throughout the page. Left में भी जगह नहीं, right में भी नहीं, ऊपर भी नहीं, नीचे भी नहीं. It's narrow on all the sides. You just ask them a simple question. So if you have a narrow margin, assuming Zina, then I will ask you that definitely, are you occupied the entire day? Do you feel 24 hours is too less for you?
Oh, no.
Then you are not the narrow one.
Okay.
Because people who are extremely tied up and they always find 24 hours of the day is too less. काफी बार express भी करते हैं. I wish the day was of 48 hours or 36 hours. 24 घंटे में काम complete नहीं हो रहा है. So they are into multitasking, and either they are actually occupied or they are mentally occupied. In overthinking. Depends, right? Yeah, so you can get a fresh set of sample and then you will be able
I'll do that. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, any questions so far on the topic covered? कुछ पूछना है किसी को? Clear?
Yeah, actually, the right side of my page, I see sometimes it's a regular margin and sometimes it's like going towards the end.
Got it.
So what is that then?
So as I said, there are many variations to it that will be covered in an in-detail workshop, okay, which is around at least 20 hours, 20 to 24 hours ka workshop hai. So when I talk about left margin itself, we have another 6 to 8 variations to it. Right margin, so there is something known as convex, concave, wavy, accidental, prone, or bahut kuch hai. Even that can be known from your handwriting. whether the writer is accidental prone. Okay, so yes. All right, I'll take it forward now. Next interesting topic we are going to talk about is baseline. Another reason why आपको कहा गया है कि unruled sheet of paper पे लिखिए. This is the second topic for today's workshop. Okay, so if you see there are no lines, horizontal lines है ही नहीं ना, without line वाला पेज है आपका. So the way we create an imaginary margin, we similarly create an imaginary line जहाँ पे आपकी handwriting rest करती है. Blue lines होती है ना book में, या black lines होती है, just like this, right? So it actually represents your goals and how do you spend your day. What is your approach towards the whole day? All right. It also reveals your attitude to reach your goals in life. So visionary board के जिनके भी questions है, you should definitely pay attention to this. Okay. All right. Now, this is a very commonly seen formation of an ascending baseline. मतलब अगर आप अभी आपका handwriting horizontally hold करना like this, not vertical but horizontal. If you see that your writing is going upward, just the way it is shown over here, ascend हो रहा है, ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है आपका writing, right? That person has a very positive, very optimistic attitude in life. He or she loves to take challenges in a positive way. और जितने भी उनकी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम्स आए, सिचुएशंस आए, challenges आए, लेकिन वो solution की तरफ काम करते हैं. सिर्फ उसी पे नहीं अटकते हैं. They don't sit and crib about their problems all. And you can't keep this person inactive in the house at all. वो 70-year-old भी हो सकते हैं, 16-year-old बच्चे भी हो सकते हैं. They have to be active on toes with some or the other activity. Reading करना, movement करना, घर साफ करते रहेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ करते रहेंगे. Otherwise, they would feel like a caged lion. Right? They're always very participative, always on the go. है ना? Rest वो शायद सिर्फ रात को ही लेते होंगे. Right? Compared to few others, उनको आप दिन में कभी भी बोलो आराम कर लो, वो सो जाते हैं. But ascending baseline won't do that, right? I'm sure Afshan has an ascending baseline. Yeah, 100%, yes. Okay. So over 90% successful people have an ascending baseline. They are looking up to their goal. When you talk about goals, do we look down? No. How is our body language, our gesture? We look up, right? Above the eye contact level. उसी तरह handwriting भी ऊपर की तरफ रहता है. Then there are certain people, oh my God, they write as though they are walking on a rope. है ना? People who do those rope walk activities, वो तो entertainment के लिए करते हैं. But these writers mentally write and they live a life as though they are walking on a rope. Straight baseline. मतलब कोई lines ही नहीं है आपके पेज पे. But if you hold it again horizontally and see, एकदम straight लिखा हुआ रहता है. Maybe hardly few words here and there ऊपर नीचे हुए रहेंगे. Overall, the first impression is completely straight on which your letters are resting. Again, self-control. Margin का कौन सा topic हमने किया था? Self-controlled, discipline.
Left margin.
But which one?
Narrow.
Narrow, right. Correct, narrow. है ना? And straight also indicates discipline. Okay. So basically they prefer to maintain order and discipline in their daily routine. इनको हर चीज pre-planned चाहिए. आप suddenly 11 बजे रात को फोन करके नहीं बोल सकते let's go for a drive. No. अगर ड्राइव पे जाना है तो 2 दिन पहले इन्फॉर्म करना पड़ेगा that this is what the plan is. Okay. So last minute they will not come anywhere. Sometimes very selective listeners, but again we do check other parameters. तो भी हम बोल सकते हैं that yes they are selective listeners. Selective listeners मतलब आप physically present हो लेकिन mentally you are somewhere else in your thoughts. Right? I hope nobody is a selective listener right now in the workshop. All are active listeners. Yeah. Okay. So they are not very adaptive to sudden changes in life. Okay. इनको extreme sales pressure वाला profile manage करना difficult होता है in the corporate world. They can do well in admin. Leadership level and stuff, there are other parameters to evaluate. But if you give them a certain role where dynamism बहुत ज़्यादा है, it's a very, as we say, it's a volatile world. Similarly, some roles in the corporate are that way. Suddenly, कोई भी चीज आ सकती है. You got to leave your work and focus on that on priority. ये straight baseline writers can't do that. All right. So, do we have any ascending baselines? First of all, ascending baseline writers, you can raise your hands. Or straight baseline. Yes, Dr. Sadhna, you want to ask something?
So my handwriting is not totally ascending, but it's in between straight and ascending.
Perfect. That's a very good question. So you can have a variation also. Not necessary that एक ही type में हम लिखेंगे. So you are adaptive where required. You would like to maintain order, discipline in your daily routine. At the same time, you are optimistic in your attitude and you're open to challenges, right? That's how you would analyze the writing. Great. Anybody else wants to ask something? Okay, we'll move forward. Then we have descending baseline. जैसे handwriting ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा था in ascending, similarly now it's going downward slightly towards descending baselines. Okay. So basically, it could be a temporary situation in their life. कुछ हुआ होगा life में, because of which maybe they're upset, a little sad, negative attitude develop हो चुका है उनका, है ना? Overall, easily थक जाते हैं, उनका energy level down रहता है, enthusiasm बचा ही नहीं कुछ करने के लिए. So verbally, you would hear people around you talking about, I've lost hope in life. I don't think anything good is going to ever happen in my life. बहुत easily disappoint हो जाते हैं. They're very sensitive. Anytime they can burst out into tears, right? They also most of the times give up easily before trying enough. वो खुद को convince करते हैं, मैंने बहुत कोशिश की, लेकिन actually उतनी कोशिश नहीं की. I've tried enough and it's not working. It's not my cup of tea. कोई descending baselines writers तो try नहीं करते और पहले give up कर देते. It's not my cup of tea. Okay, so typically you would find this handwriting in form of descending baseline. Somebody has written for the previous topic. I think this is so me. That is so much as Zenith had mentioned earlier topic. Okay, all right. So yes, all of you could relate some aspect of baseline to yourself. Of course, इसमें भी बहुत सारे variations हैं. There is something known as false ascending. There is a thin line between ascending and false ascending. So that's known as a principle of exaggeration, जहाँ पे वो दिखा रहे हैं कुछ और पर है कुछ और. Suicidal baseline भी होता है, वो अलग है ना? Yeah, so all of you could relate with baselines? Yes? Okay, okay, perfect, perfect. अब हम बढ़ते हैं. Afshan, anything you want to add in this? Shall I proceed? Continue.
Proceed. Yeah.
Then we have a lovely topic on slants. You can actually draw this also. ABCD जो लिखा है exactly the same way or take a screenshot. Okay. ये topic समझने में थोड़ा time जाएगा. Some of you may grasp it fast. Some of you would take time, but that's absolutely okay. Slants basically talk about how you express yourself emotionally to the outside world. Your relationship with others, how you respond or react. All right. Now, simple body language से अगर explain करूँ. Let's say you have walked into the office, in our office, and Afshan and I am sitting like this on the chair, है ना? आराम से lean कर रहे अपने chair पे, both our hands folded, and now we are welcoming you all, saying, "Hi, Lenika, welcome to Care Of." What's the immediate thought that you would get? Are we really happy that we are welcoming you? Are we really happy to see you? No, of course. है ना? Maybe we are, but we are expressing as though a very formal intro or an interaction we are having. Our body language is closed. On the other side, you walk in and immediately Afshan and I come and greet you. We shake hands. We're moving forward. Our body language is such, we are bending forward and greeting you, welcoming you. How would you feel? Would you feel upset or you would feel warm and welcoming? warm and welcoming, right? So that's exactly your handwriting slant also. Okay. So basically we learned about baseline. Now in this topic, we can take help of a protractor, always recommended. All right. जब हम in detail करेंगे, that time we will ask you all to be ready with certain things also. So whenever you place a protractor on your handwriting, and if the letters of your writing that are resting on the baseline appear to be completely straight, like example, यहाँ पे दिखा दो. Here still slightly certain words are tilted, but most of it you would see it straight. The word likes, behind, this, show, off, affect. Okay.
हाँ मम्मी
Everyone. किसी की मम्मी बुला रही है, प्लीज म्यूट पे रहिए. मम्मी की handwriting ले लीजिए चाहिए तो. Okay. So this is an A slant writer. Okay. Again, how the body language or the body posture would be, spine हमेशा उनका straight रहेगा. They'll sit straight most of the time, neither bending forward nor they will lean backward. The handwriting also would rest on the baseline straight. So basically, in case of these writers, their head rules their heart. What it means is the person is very logical in their thought process. इनके सामने आप रोगे, वो ठीक है आपको शांत करेंगे. They will give you a glass of water. But don't expect as an employee, your boss is easily going to get convinced with whatever trouble you are going through. They want the result. Okay. Very organized, very disciplined. So immediately compare it with the margins also. And they are never prepared for last minute changes. That irritates them a lot. They're not comfortable at all. Entire schedule has to be pre-planned. Entire day has to be pre-planned. All right. So these are A slant writers. Isn't it interesting? Yeah. Okay. Now we have the next variation where your handwriting. So if I talk about the angle, 90 degrees exact was the A slant writer. Now we slowly move towards 100. Okay, so your writing is also moving. It's tilting. See here, towards the right side. Most of the people have B slant. Some of you would have a combination of A and B. Okay, now when we talk about B slant writers, where the handwriting is tilting more towards the right, here the heart rules the head. Emotionally, they are more responsive as compared to an A slant writer. Again, they like to give surprises to their loved ones. A slant writers don't like surprises. So if your partner is an A slant writer and you plan to surprise him or her always, the person may not appreciate it. They need to be informed अगर कोई party arrange की है तो. Suddenly आप guest घर में लाओगे and give a surprise, you would get surprised with their expression of emotions then. Okay. So emotionally very responsive compared to A slant writers. Their empathy quotient is higher as compared to an A slant. So typically in terms of leadership, it's a good combination to have A and B slant writer in one handwriting. So wherever required, they are result oriented, they are practical, they are logical, but whenever required in terms of understanding the client needs, understanding their team and the senior management, you need a blend of both, right? So they are very good in handling both the situations. Okay. Socially active, but definitely they have their limitations defined, which is very, very healthy. All right. You suddenly cannot put your hand on your boss's shoulder and say, oh, let's go for a party, because earlier you all had enjoyed together in a party. So they will ensure that you respect them also. Okay. And again, you can connect them well with a combination of being an introvert and extrovert. Here, they could be a good host, but don't expect them to open up everything about their life. That's the difference. All right. They would be still selective about whom they speak to and what they speak. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm sure we have A and B or a combination of A and B. Yes, do we have any A or B or combination of A, B?
I think I am.
Yeah,
E.
perfect. Okay.
I think
Now,
I am too.
yeah, okay, somebody else. Who else was that?
Supriya.
Supriya also. Wonderful. Okay, great. We would love to have everybody's response. Huh? Somebody is logged in with iPhone. I'm sorry, I'm not able to ask you because your name is not there on it. Okay. Next, we move to C slant writer. I mean, the handwriting is just falling forward. Okay. So here again, when we talk about, 1 second. Yeah. Somewhere now our handwriting is going between 110 to 130 degrees. Okay. The writing is resting a lot on the right side, as you see it here. Okay. Here, completely emotional. They are in need of connecting with people all the time. They cannot stay alone. First of all, very impulsive, very spontaneous. Suddenly रात को 1 बजे आपका friend घर पे आ जाएगा. See the writing. और अगर ये repetitive pattern है तो most of the time C slant writers. They don't want to be alone, especially when they're alone anywhere. They have a constant need of affection. It could be a possibility that they want to be recognized, appreciated, and associated with people all the time. Very strong possibility, of course. And this writer connects very well with others, very empathetic. अब ऐसा बॉस रहेगा और आप just 2 drops of tears दिखा दो उनको that I am not feeling too good, sir or ma'am, may I go home? Immediately your leave would be sanctioned. So this profile, this writer rather, can do well in a B and C combination. They can do well in understanding what their customers want. They cannot work in the back end. They'll get super bored. Monotonous काम तो कर ही नहीं सकते. Okay, so they constantly need a change. They constantly need variation. मसाला चाहिए life में. उसी तरह काम में भी होता है. Okay, so Dr. Sadhna, in your Rotary Club now, when you see your leadership for handwriting samples, you can delegate the assignments and projects accordingly to your team. Okay, great. So emotionally very, very expressive, and they might, if they get closely attached to you, वो आपके लिए कुछ भी करेंगे. मतलब they'll always be there for you, and they will confront everything about their life. No secrets. All right. Now, this is extreme. See, there is always a principle of exaggeration. Extreme, the handwriting is as good as falling on the page. Okay, so this is beyond 140 degrees. 142, you can say 160 degrees. What do you think? Emotions are completely out of control. यहाँ पे अगर किसी ने experience किया है, especially in a public place, or if you're traveling somewhere alone, an elderly woman, or it could be a young person, suddenly you just smile at them and they tell you their entire life's journey. They can talk to any stranger. और जब तक कहानी खत्म नहीं होगी तब तक आप भी स्टेशन पे उतर नहीं पाओगे. So there is lack of stability at times. They don't know where to stop. Very impulsive. Budget रखेंगे shopping का 4,000 rupees. They may land up spending 10,000 rupees. Quality does not feel matter. कुछ भी चीज पसंद आएगा. कलर पसंद आया. My friend told me I look pretty in pink shade. So मैं अपना wardrobe पूरा pink shade में ही बना. I'll change my entire clothing style, right? So very judgmental, but if you don't attend their call, you're busy. Let's say you're busy. An A slant writer would understand. You drop a message, I'll get back to you, I'm busy. B slant writer bhi samajh lega. C slant writer may just express it that I have been waiting since a long time, but you didn't call back. D slant writer may not talk to you at all. They're very, very strongly influenced by their likes, dislikes. They always follow their opinions. Okay. Facts don't matter to them. These writers should definitely not have their own startups, especially ऐसे businesses जहाँ पे investment लगा है, खुद का या किसी और का. क्योंकि businesses facts पे decide होते हैं. Decisions are taken on facts, not on opinion. Today you may like blue shade, tomorrow you may dislike and you may like red shade. And they are capable of constantly changing their profession. You might know a couple of people जो every 6 months भी job change करते रहते. And इनका ऐसा रहता है concept that मेरे में कोई problem नहीं है, I'm okay. But something is always wrong in my job profile. Something is always wrong with the people around me. They can do well if they work with NGOs. Very kind-hearted, always ready to help and extremely empathetic. Taking activities, taking initiatives for street kids, underprivileged kids, old age home, right? So societal cause ke liye they can work, but not the practical side of corporate. It's a misfit completely in any profile. Clear? Interesting? Yeah. Then we have an Eastland. Eastland is extreme, very rare to find, because this completely shows a complete erratic movement and more than 90% lack of stability of emotions. Emotions are out of control. Usually certain concerns with mental health issues. Eastland writer could be the main, it can show you as a trigger point about that writer. Very restless all the time. Capable of talking to strangers, confiding in them, fighting with them, shouting on the street suddenly for no reason, running around and screaming. They are unable, so they have created their own imaginary world. Okay, it is very difficult for them to be in touch with the reality of their lives. So their family has a very tough time to actually live with an Eastland. Okay, now there are certain handwriting traits, again, that you all will learn in the further course in detail when you're enrolled, wherein basically ye bhi pata chalta hai that whether the writer is capable of even conducting an act like read with the slant and combination of other traits interacting. At least सोच रहा है, because again, instability of emotions, sudden action, erratic movement, right? So काफी सारी traits है, hidden mysteries I can say about the person that can be known. So that is like an alarming situation, right? Okay, then now we move to the left side. जो मैंने first example आपको body language का दिया था कि हफ्शान मैम और मैं ऐसे बैठे थे, that's how we are welcoming you. So here the handwriting is tilted towards 70 to 80 degrees on the left side. Very common, very common. A lot of people would have a combination of F and straight A also, okay? What does it mean here? Reserved, introvert, that's exactly the thought you all had, correct? Not very warm and welcoming. ये बहुत selective होते हैं अपने friend circle के बारे में. They are very creative in their thought process, okay? काफी बार उनको difficulty होती है अपने emotions express करने के लिए verbally. So they can express it through painting, drawing, singing, could be through creative work also, making graphics in today's environment. And a little bit of insecurity. Strong chances that this person has lived with a lot of inferiority complex in the childhood. किसी ने बोल दिया होगा that you're too thin, you're too fat, your skin complexion is very dark, or you're extremely fair. कोई भी चीज का हो सकता है. You're not good at math. वो इतना strongly उनके DNA में रहता है वो thought. They live with it. Okay, and they create a virtual barrier between the society and themselves. So as a responsibility, अगर बेटा है या बेटी है, या even as a student, सब कुछ करेंगे. But they will take time to express themselves. And they will be expressive only गिने चुने 4-5 उनके friends रहेंगे throughout life. All right. They are also highly prone to make logical, unemotional decisions at times. So a lot of companies at senior positions prefer to hire F2 A-slant writers also, depending in which department. Okay. Also, they prefer to study alone, work alone. They are excellent as individual taskmasters. They can't do group study as students. They can't work together as a team, not because the person is a poor team player, but they are more creative in their thoughts when they are working alone. और इनको कोई टीम असाइनमेंट में आपने डाल दिया, वो फिर भी अपना एक दाल तड़का रहता है ना, फ्लेवर डालेंगे अपने काम में, that they will do something extra and different which nobody else might have thought of in that team project or in that presentation, and they get recognized for it. They don't do it for recognition, but that's how their thought process is. Okay, so that was F slant writer. Yes, anybody has any questions so far on slants? How many of you could relate yourself with slants? इसमें भी बहुत different variations है. Yeah, Lenika? Lenika is nodding her head, yes. Priyanka, yes. Two Priyankas we have. Ishita, Prerna, iPhone Neha. Okay, Neha is there. Veena ji bhi hai. Wonderful.
Trupti ma'am,
Yes, yes.
can I ask Prerna here?
Yes, Prerna.
मुझे पूछना था कि if it is extreme left, actually मेरे बॉस की साइन जो है ना extreme left है, so I'm curious about that.
Okay. प्रेरणा, गुड क्वेश्चन. सबसे पहले कभी भी आप एनालिसिस करते हो ना, you should always take the handwriting sample and the signature, because your sign actually talks about your image, your self-image, about yourself in public. So what do you think about your father figure, mother figure, yourself as a person, and how do you project yourself and also your profession? Okay. So yes, so only signature, only handwriting, firstly we avoid. And second important चीज, जब आप दोनों चीजें लेते हो, आगे आप ये भी सीखोगे in the further courses, where is the placement of the sign? Is it close to the handwriting script, what is written? Is it on left side, right side, far away, center? Everything matters. But assuming if his handwriting also is extremely to the left, just like his signature, again, that's a principle of exaggeration. He will suddenly, he is prone to have maybe an anger outburst. पहले बहुत कंट्रोल करेंगे, कंट्रोल करेंगे, कंट्रोल करेंगे, and it's like a volcanic eruption. अंदर ही अंदर बहुत कुछ हो रहा है, and suddenly there is an outburst. So you would find it difficult to relate and understand that boss को कौन सी चीज चाहिए, what are his exact expectations, what action I need to take accordingly. Do you feel that?
Yes, ma'am. Totally agree.
Okay. So then there is a possibility of the writing also being on an extreme left, beyond F slant.
Yes, yes. He is having too much extreme left writing.
Okay. उनका बचपन भी difficult रहा होगा. His childhood also must have been tough.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
right. Welcome. Now another interesting topic. What you all need to do is first draw the letter T, small t. We make two formations when we write T. One is this vertical stem we draw. It's known as a stem. And then हम ये horizontal crossbar करते हैं, line बनाते हैं, right? So just the way it is shown, you can take a screenshot. Sorry, I went on mute. So Neha has asked a good question that her handwriting keeps changing. It's not fixed to a particular pattern. So basically, if you are in a hurry, that's very important. What's your state of mind? Most of the time, all of us would have our handwriting crushed and rushed towards the right side. You want to finish it fast. Our handwriting also would move towards B and C slant. Sorry. A lot of times it may not be readable. It's not even legible to read, right? So when you are sitting with yourself peacefully, at that time you write. And variation in writing also shows change of mood swings. Sometimes you may feel very optimistic, positive, a complete go-getter attitude. Within the next minute, suddenly you may feel very low, very down, very upset. Even you wouldn't know the root reason or the root cause. Why is it happening to me? If there is a constant variation, and we need to analyze more in various aspects. Okay, let me know once this T is drawn or if you have taken a screenshot. You can just show a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So draw a tall T stem. Okay. Afshan, please let me know अगर कुछ ऐड करना है तो.
Yeah.
मैं इतना टॉपिक में घुस गई हूँ कि missed to ask you earlier. I think most of you have drawn, right? Okay, some of you are still doing it. I'll wait for 1 minute. So just with a formation of letter small t, you would understand your own confidence level, your endurance, your willpower to achieve your goals in life. Ishita, you're there, right? Ishita also is attending. Okay, I think you're all done. Let's proceed. Okay, great. Ishita is there. Right. Now, where you all have position number 5, what does number 5 mean? If this is the straight line and exactly at the center point of this vertical stem, average median is number 5 position. So if your T crossbar means the horizontal line is just at the center. So you're dividing the vertical line, the vertical stem into 2 parts. That's what we do when you make a horizontal crossbar, correct? So exactly if it is divided into equal parts above and at the bottom. Okay, that's at number 5 position. This writer has a very healthy self-image. खुद के बारे में confident है. उनको अपनी क्या potential है, competencies है, strengths है, weaknesses है. They are aware, they are self-aware. And in terms of their willpower, energy level भी काफी balanced है. बहुत ज़्यादा hyper भी नहीं है और बहुत ज़्यादा inactive भी नहीं. When they work well. When it's rest time, they take complete rest. They will not overexert themselves. Okay, so very balanced. All right. Now we move. आप letter T को 2 parts में जब divide कर रहे हो, next 5 के नीचे, मतलब now your horizontal stroke is slightly down below number 5 at number 4 position. मतलब ऊपर का पार्ट ज्यादा छोड़ा है अभी आपने, and when you're dividing it, it's below the median. Here there is a scope of improvement. काफी बार in areas of self confidence खुद को doubt करते हैं. Am I capable of doing it? ये मैं project लूं कि नहीं लूं? Should I take up this opportunity or no? है ना? Very cautious. What if I fail in it? There is a fear of loss also. So not very open to immediately take up risk or challenges in life. A safe player. Okay, because confidence level थोड़ा कम है इनका. All right. Now here it is 2 and 3 position below 4. मतलब ऊपर का जो T stroke है, the part of T, letter T, there is more space above as compared to the lower portion. That means 1, 2, 3 आपने जो नीचे का ये T stem draw किया है, your horizontal crossbars are very close to the lower part of the body of letter T. So when we talk about position 2 and 3, they are better than 1, lekin there is a complete lack of willpower. Okay, very lonely, very sacrificing, and very poor self-image, not confident at all about themselves. They live with a lot of fears. शायद गाड़ी नहीं ड्राइव करेंगे, हाइट पे नहीं जाएंगे, हर चीज में उनको डर रहता है, हर चीज में दे लैक कॉन्फिडेंस, मैं कर पाऊंगी कि नहीं. उनको एक सिंपल प्रोजेक्ट दे दो, they will not be that confident. One is an extreme case of low willpower, where your T crossbar, the horizontal crossbar, is made very close to the lower part of the body. Constant feeling of insecurity, constantly fearful of doing anything new in their life. मतलब शायद ये लोग अगर जॉब कर रहे हैं तो 15-20 साल एक ही जॉब में रहेंगे और एक ही पोजीशन पे, because when you get growth there are challenges. It's an ROI the company expects from you, na? Leadership role very difficult for them to handle, right? Somebody 5 and above can be considered for a mid manager profile, right? तो अकेले एक कोने में बैठ के अपना काम करते रहेंगे, पेरोल रिलीज करना है, पे चेक साइन करना है, वही रूटीन फॉलो करना है. So that's where 1, 2 and 3 would be suitable for. Clear so far? सबके साथ interact करना, socially to conduct themselves, to present themselves, they'll find difficulty. Now this you can combine with the slant and the baseline in combination. Okay, so somebody again, it could be maybe an F slant, F से भी थोड़ा सा और left में हो सकता है handwriting, or it could be A slant, but with 1, 2 or 3 position there, then you can connect the dots. Their confidence level is extremely poor. Then they definitely need counseling, or we help them with improvement of handwriting. We help them with certain remedies like even healing codes or switch phrases for that matter. But depends again whether they'll continue to practice.
And a lot of back flowers.
Yes, back flowers very helpful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
उसमें consciously कुछ करना ही नहीं पड़ता है ना?
Diagnosis can be done through this, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now we go to above 5. That means the horizontal 3 strokes are made close to the upper part. All right, so as you see, 6, 7, 8 shows very high self-image, very confident about themselves, very high on energy. You will never see them tired. They can talk for hours and hours. They can present for hours and hours. Very good orators, speakers, है ना? लेकिन उनका slants भी देखना है. Usually you would see a combination of A, B, C. A to C, rather I can say, right? So very good willpower, energy, and high confidence. Remember the keywords. Whereas 9 is touching very close to this T vertical stem, extremely ambitious. Again, they set very high expectation from self. Okay, so there is another topic called connections. वो आज नहीं हम कर पाएंगे. That's a lot in detail. After doing a certain set of case studies, we'll be able to understand. A lot of times, there is a possibility that somebody who is writing T, most of the times on the 9th position, we check their angles. काफी बार उनका handwriting ना ऐसा sharp angle edge. How we write letter A, capital A? We make an angle, right? Most of the times they have angles everywhere because expectations खुद से इतने ज़्यादा होते हैं और अगर उस चीज को achieve नहीं कर पाए, then there could be a lot of anger and anxiety towards self. क्यों नहीं मैं कर पाया? And always that question mark and anger within, irritation would always be there. Most of the times they are capable of achieving their goals, right? Now in your own handwriting sample you can have variations, लेकिन suddenly 1 है और फिर 9 है, वो chances कम है. You could be somewhere between 4, 5, 6. You could be somewhere between 1, 2, 3, or maybe 7, 8 and beyond, or 5. So see the frequency. The moment you see your handwriting, what's the first observation of your T strokes? Check the frequency level. Okay. Now position 10 is where the horizontal crossbar is touching the T stem above. 10 and 11. 11 is flying in the air. मतलब अलग ही दुनिया में. Okay. Head is in the clouds. That's why it said. Good macro managers, but not micromanagers. They can miss out on details. So if any leader has this trait, we always tell them, be cautious about which documents you're signing. Don't be over optimistic. Be optimistic, but be ready with a backup plan. Plan B also. If things don't work out the way you have planned, then what will you do? Very high in terms of ambition, self-image, extremely high, full of energy, excellent in sales profile, where they're interacting with people constantly. It can be at a bigger level. I'm talking about getting projects of crores of rupees on board, getting such kind of clients on board, right? Sometimes very rebellious. They cannot follow rules and protocols. Huh? आप इनको बोल ही नहीं सकते that 9 a.m. is your reporting time. They'll be productive, but give them their flexibility. है ना? आप lion को खुला छोड़ दो. Cage में रखोगे तो how would he react? You know that. He won't be happy. This person will not be able to perform. So there is a lot of eagerness of power, leadership, promotion, growth. They have a strong desire to lead teams. Kahin na kahin, again, principle of exaggeration, and there is a slight insecurity within which they don't want to show outside. And again, chances of impatience very high, and frustration level can be very high as well. Okay, so they are capable of building castles in the air. मतलब on paper कुछ भी ready नहीं है, but client को ऐसे promises देके आएंगे. Sometimes they give over promises also. So there is a positive side and a flip side to their personality trait. Something which your company is not able to deliver, वो भी commit करके आ सकते, just to get the client on board. उनका immediate goal वही था. And then the 5 to 7, 8 T-stroke writers with B2C slant writing has to come into picture. अगर ऐसा कुछ situation हुआ, expectations के हिसाब से deliver नहीं हो पा रहा है, they'll have to come into the picture to negotiate with the client. Clear? So how many of you all could place your T-strokes in the topic covered? You can raise your hand, or if you all have any question. Okay, great. Great. Me, okay, Priyanka Rai saying me. Very nice, Priyanka. Supriya, Beena Pandit. Okay, very nice. Superb. Mostly 5 and above. That's very healthy, Priyanka. Very good. If it's 5 and above, that's really nice. Okay, great. So we'll proceed ahead. Immediately family members की handwriting sample लेके उनको मत बताना शुरू करना. You need to practice for yourself. Yes, you can take the handwriting sample, but don't be judgmental. Oh, this is how you are. That's why you're not able to achieve your goals. Don't do that. Accept the way the person is. Accept yourself the way you are first if you want to see the change, right? I'm already checking husband's writing. Oh God, I expected that. Suddenly I remembered, that's why I used the disclaimer. You know, when I was in college, when I was doing my graduation in KC, my HOD and all my professors, तभी तो PPTs इतना नहीं दिखाते थे. Couple of things they used to show on the board, on the whiteboard. They used to write. So I've seen that they used to be so cautious. मतलब मैं देख भी नहीं रही हूँ handwriting, but they were making it evident to me that now, you know, I'm analyzing the writing. So पहला disclaimer होता था हर class के पहले, Trupti, don't analyze us from our handwriting. लोग डरने लग गए थे. Okay, so we don't generally analyze what's written on the board because the position at which you are holding the pen While on paper, your hand is resting. On board, it is in a vertical position. Some text you will be able to see, but not all of it. Okay. All right. Now there's another interesting topic, that is I dot. Okay. Very interesting topic again. Dotting your I. All right. Simple, just a dot can talk so much about you. One is the position of the dot where you're making. And second is whether you make a dot, whether you're making a circle, the formation of your I dot, whether it's a stroke instead of a dot that you have. All right. When we talk about I dot, if your I dot is placed close to this vertical I stem, small I, just the way it is shown here. All right. First of all, that shows it represents the person is a micromanager, very detail oriented. मतलब अगर आपका कोई boss है who has a close I dot just above the I stem, आप उनको ऊपर ऊपर से बता के you can't just please them. You got to give him all the details, him or her. The person will be involved in the entire process. So sometimes you may find it very irritating that he's not letting you work the way you want to. There is no flexibility. हर चीज में interfere कर रहे, right? Micromanagers, okay? Very punctual, self-control. Again, it's a good equilibrium, a balance they maintain between being an extrovert or an introvert. जहाँ पे required है, they'll be interactive. Where they have to draw a line, they will draw a line and maintain a virtual distance, okay? So very common, close I dot above the stem is very common. Next, we move to an I dot, which is made at a height, the blue color. मतलब I stem कहाँ पे? Imagine, remove the center red dot and imagine where the blue dot is. Very high flying. Okay. So visionary, their imagination level is very high. They are macro managers. Now here you can immediately compare their T strokes. All right. So usually they would also have high flying T strokes above the position of 6 and above. That's how you be able to analyze the moment you start connecting different topics together, right? Now we talk about the position where the I dot is made on the left side, okay? So these people would usually be late. They have a difficulty to reach anywhere on time. Shy, introvert to an extent, procrastinator. Anything they want to start or do in life, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. They have a lot of fear of the unknown, okay? They lack trust in themselves. So they're not very confident whether I can take up the task, whether I can complete that assignment, whether I can do that project, all right? So always left I dot is very common. They're trying to be in the rat race, but they are unable to, okay? And then to the extreme is the right I dots, where the I dot is made to the right side of the yellow I stem. मतलब आपका डॉट ही आप राइट साइड पे बना रहे हो. यहाँ पे बहुत फ्यूचरिस्टिक होते हैं, बहुत एंशियस होते हैं, ऑलवेज थिंकिंग ऑफ फ्यूचर, वेरी क्विक थिंकर्स. इनको डिसीजन लेने में टाइम नहीं लगता. एंड दे हेट टू बी विद पीपल हु टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू टेक डिसीजंस. They want to make quick decisions in life. Always curious. They always have a growth mindset. उनका ambition level रहता है, मैं नया क्या सीखूं? How do I proceed? How do I progress further? है ना? And they also want to reach their goals fast. लेकिन काफी बार you have to check their T stroke also. Okay, if the T stroke is at 10th and 11th position, head in the clouds, with an extreme right I dot. So very strong possibility कि they're building castles in the air. Reality में कुछ implement नहीं कर पा रहे. So somebody who is earning 50,000 suddenly would dream of earning 1 crore in next 6 months. It takes time to build up. You need to have a strategy, but very impatient. They talk fast. They walk fast. They drive fast. Always in a hurry. Time रहेगा तो भी in a hurry. All right. Those are right I dots. Okay. And now a few more variations here for you. Some people don't make an I dot only. They make a circle above the I stem, just like this. Very commonly seen. They're very childlike, very innocent, very imaginative. They're very creative and they always crave for nature. Whenever they're upset, they're feeling low, highly recommended, for them to take a break and go towards nature. They get energized, they feel healed when they are near nature. And they love attention. So attention seekers. Dressing sense भी अलग ही होगा, मतलब पूरे crowd में वो नजर आएंगे. Something different they would do that they will be noticed in the crowd. Very creative. Okay. Now some people don't make a circle, they don't make a dot at all, but they make a slash, a comma kind of a stroke. Very interesting. Observe this very carefully. ये भी बहुत common है. When you make this stroke, some of the writers, okay, first we will talk about the downward slash. So जब भी आप pen hold करते हो and you're making a downward slash, it is obvious in the handwriting you have moved from top to bottom. The pink, the center one. First of all, instead of a dot, whenever you're putting a stroke, that shows irritation and frustration. The person is not quite happy. Okay, here it actually represents, am I on spotlight? 1 second. Yeah, here it represents that the person is always overly critical and would blame himself or herself. अगर कहीं पे कुछ न्यूज आती है, बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट हुआ या कोई ट्रेजेडी हो गई है ना, they'll immediately think, अरे this is what I have been thinking about since a long time, और वो हो गया. Something wrong with me. Family में कोई बीमार पड़ गया. Immediately they'll take the self blame. Okay, and overly critical with themselves. All right. Then we talk about the left slash, which is made pointing on the left side. See here. So procrastination to hey, because we have seen the position of I dot earlier, it's on the left side. Also, they blame their past. Because, for example, this writer would say, typically, financially, we were not that good. So I couldn't learn much in life. I'm not that educated. Or somebody would say that guidance nahi mila hame past mein. है ना? You're very lucky, तुम्हें मिला, हमें मिला ही नहीं. इसीलिए हम ऐसे ही रहे हैं. Right? They'll blame their past for everything. They'll blame their parents, their origins for everything. Okay? I'm sure you all are finding some or the other variations in these, in your handwriting. Yes? All right. And then we have writers जो slash बनाते हैं, right? But on the right side. So right side पे बना रहे तो already impatient है. They're very anxious about future. See, problem is people either live in the past or they live in future. But we miss to live in our present moment. अभी का जो moment है life का, उसको इसीलिए present कहा जाता है. It's a gift. And if we want to change our future, we need to take certain actions in our present. Okay. So these people would always be confused, very anxious to know about their future, very worried all the time, and there is no clarity. Now, there could be certain situations that the person is changing the job profile or relocating to a different place. So you need to have an interactive session with the writer जिसका आप handwriting analysis कर रहे हो. Don't just conclude like a parrot, oh, your handwriting, blah, 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 blah. No. Have an interactive session. Ask them right questions. That's what you all would learn in the future workshops that we're going to have in depth. Ask the right questions. There is an art. There is always an art and a skill to ask the right questions to get the appropriate answers, right? Then the fourth type is where handwriting slash is made upward. नीचे से ऊपर. दिखता ही है वो position that is made from bottom to upward position. They are someone who usually would live with a very victim mindset. Why me? मेरी life में problems आ रही है ना? Blaming God for everything. Possibility of having a transactional deal with God. Whomever they believe in. मैं 10 नारियल चढ़ाती हूँ तो आप मेरा ये काम कर लो. फिर वो काम नहीं हुआ तो फिर भगवान को blame करेंगे. We find such people around, right? हर एक के family, friend circle, social circle में होता है. So they blame the Almighty for everything in life. Okay. All right. Now, how many of you could connect? Left slash. Okay. All right, Prerna. Totally agree. I do say and feel that. Wonderful. Yes, let's have some interaction. I know thoda heavy topic hai, but an interesting one. So how many of you could find your I dots related to the topics? Write and circle. Very nice, Priyanka. So impatient, anxious about future. What next? What next? What's going to happen in my life, in company? I'm sure, yeah. At the same time, very creative, imaginative, very innocent. Who else would like to share? In between dot and slash. Okay. But where is the dot positioned? Where is it placed? Close to the I stem, far away, left, right? Circle. Fantastic, Dr. Sarvan. Imaginative, creative, interactive, expressive. So if it's between dot and near to I, okay, fine. So slash kiski taraf hai? Towards yourself, I stem, upward, left or right? Near to I is the position. But when you make a slash, is it going upward, left, right, or bottom? So that means if your I dot is close to the I stem, which means you're a micromanager. If it's towards the bottom, that means काफी बार आप खुद को blame करते हो. When things are not working out, you blame yourself. Now just be careful in case if anybody has a higher level of frequency with an I dot or slash, up to down, yeah, so self-blame. So don't be overcritical with yourself. Otherwise, simply if it becomes a habit, you may attract, different health concerns. And first is constipation, acidity, very common, digestion related issues. Okay. How to improve that? All right. You have very few slashes though. Okay. You have to, on a blank sheet of paper, on an unruled sheet of paper, you will have to start writing these I dots or any letter, for that matter, even letter T. Like as I said, 5 to 7 is healthy. So you have to write every day. Letter T. बच्चे को हम कैसे सिखाते हैं ना ABCD. This known as graphotherapy. You need to practice it that way. First, practice making dots only throughout the page. Then second page, you do it with the I stem and then a dot. I stem and then a dot. It'll happen through practice. Okay. Slash means stress. Ye dhyan mein rakhna. There's always stress energy. All right. I think this is the last topic and then we have a small quiz. So we studied about margins. We studied about baselines. We studied about slants. Then T-strokes, which spoke about willpower, self-endurance, confidence level. We did I small dots, right? Both the topics, that is, one is position and the second is formation, right? Now, this is a very interesting letter. The reason why, one of the reasons why you have been asked to write about yourself. This capital I is known as PPI, personal pronoun I. Okay. Okay, here there is an error. It's not endurance and willpower, but this capital I shows the mother figure influence that you have in your life and your father figure influence. So it talks about your influence coming from both the parents to you. And what do you think of yourself, your own self-image? So when you analyze a PPI and capital I, you can also see the T formations, the T strokes. Clear? Okay. So you can draw this I and basically the three ways how we draw it. First, we make the vertical I stem. Again, vertical straight line, right? Standing line, that is the self-image. Above, the horizontal stroke above talks about the mother figure influence. So that can be your biological mother. It can be your masi, your chachi, your bua. It can be your elder sister. It can be your guardian in case if parents nahi rahe bachpan mein, mom has not been there. So somebody who has been as a strong mother figure in your life. Okay. And similarly, most of the times is biological, but certain cases may, it could be the other way also. And here, when you make a horizontal bottom stroke, that is the father figure. So that can be, again, your biological father, your chacha, your mama. If dad has not been there since your childhood, it can also be your dada, your nana. Okay, clear? All right. Okay. Now, firstly, when there is a presence of both the horizontal lines, ऊपर का as well as नीचे का, that shows that there is a strong influence from both mother figure and father figure. The presence itself shows that. So first thing you have to check that is there a proper line, horizontal line at the top and the bottom. Okay. So it shows a healthy influence here because the standing line is touching both, ऊपर भी और नीचे भी. All right. It's healthy influence from both the parents. The writer feels connected with both, and this writer would usually take advice from both mother and father figure. And a healthy self-image. So how would you analyze other parameter of healthy self-image? Who will answer? This is one. What is the other way that will tell you? Other parameter in the handwriting. What tells you that the writer has a healthy self-image? You can write in chat or unmute and share. Somebody has written dot on I, yes. T, letter T, yes, perfect. T stroke. Number 5 se leke above, right? It shows a healthy self. So you can check both and then evaluate. Perfect, perfect. Fantastic. You have understood the topic quite well. Great. Okay. Now, next we move to the vertical stem, which is cutting at the top. See, there's a cut, cross. नीचे टच हुआ है नीचे के हॉरिजॉन्टल स्टेम में, बट ऊपर का जो हॉरिजॉन्टल स्टेम है एंड द वर्टिकल स्ट्रोक इट्स कटिंग, राइट? नाउ प्रेजेंस ऑफ बोथ है, मतलब अगेन द राइटर इज इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय बोथ मदर फिगर एंड फादर फिगर, बट यूजुअली दिस राइटर विल हैव अ डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन विद द मदर फिगर. अटैचमेंट है, इन्फ्लुएंस है, लेकिन तू मैं मम्मा के साथ काफी होते रहेगा. दैट्स व्हाट इट रिप्रेजेंट्स. Okay, that's a reminder for me. My alarm is ringing. Yeah, another 15 minutes. Okay. So basically a difference of opinion with mother figure. Okay. Similarly, when there is a cross at the bottom, horizontal stem and the vertical stem. Okay. Like this. Very common. Again, influenced by both the parents because दोनों बहुत strongly long दोनों T strokes बनाए हैं, लेकिन difference of opinion with father figure. They may not be argumentative, but they won't sync with their thought process together. एक north सोचेगा तो दूसरा हमेशा south के बारे में सोचेगा. Okay, so difference of opinion is very evident to become. Next, they don't make any horizontal stroke only. सिर्फ एक सीधा डंडी, standing straight. इन पे very self-dependent. Okay, very strong-headed personalities. They don't wait for their parents' approval. All right. So, अगर कोई बच्चे का ये writing है, I mean, who's an adult and looking for marriage, वो approval के लिए wait ही नहीं करेगा. The person will select life partner on their own and on his or herself, but he will not wait for parents' influence. हाँ बोलेंगे ना बोलेंगे, announce कर देते I'm going to marry this person. Okay, a very independent thinker, find it difficult to listen to others and adjust. कि पहले से इंडिपेंडेंट रहने की आदत है, डिसीजंस खुद लेते हैं. Alright, do we have any independent eyes here? Okay, very commonly seen. Now, some people don't make a capital I. Instead of a capital I, they make small I. Now, when do you make a capital I? When you're talking about yourself. I love to shop. I love to travel. But इनका capital I हमेशा small रहेगा. Very poor self-image. There is a complete lack of influence from both the parents. And they usually don't consider themselves worthy of doing anything in life. So constantly इनकी जिंदगी self-doubt में निकल जाती. They can't take decisions boldly. They always would need validation. Somebody to motivate them externally. Somebody to constantly give a moral support. We are with you. You can do it. Let's do something together. अकेले कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे कभी. ओके एंड काफी बार उनका ओवर थिंकिंग में ही टाइम निकल जाता है, एक साल निकल जाता है लाइफ का. ऑलराइट, Okay, so anybody who could relate themselves with capital I? All types of I. Okay, you have to see the frequency level. One with both lines and capital I without lines. Yeah, that's fine. So there are certain areas of your life, Priyanka, where you don't wait for your parents' approval. Once you have taken a decision, you would just announce it to them. And certain areas of life where you will take their consent. Okay? Mind, yeah, sabka alag alag hoga. All of you will not have a constant same pattern of eye. My eye is totally different. Okay. There are more than 20 different types of, by the way, capital I. This is just to give you all the taste of what an capital I can talk about you. That's why we share. From your capital I, we can also know if your father figure has been through financial or emotional loss. Or it could be physical loss of the father figure, where somewhere you are blaming him that you were not there when I was small, when I needed you the most, or you took certain decisions in life which you could have not, family suffering because of you. Yeah, as a child, see, your inner child is talking to your father in terms of thoughts. आप कितने भी बड़े हुए हो लेकिन आप उनको verbally नहीं बोल पा रहे हो, but the thought is there in your mind. Okay? All right. Now quiz time. Very simple quiz. Are you all ready? Be ready, yeah, to type the answers in the chat box, okay? My upper eye stroke is not connecting much with the upper line. Okay, Prerna, that's fine. Your upper eye stroke is not connecting means influence hai, lekin you distance yourself wherever required with your mother figure, okay? All right, so first quiz open for you. Who do you think is feeling stressed and upset? KBC round has started, so you can write your answer in the chat box. A, B, or C. Who do you think is feeling stressed and upset? Beena Pandit, Priyanka, Prerna, Ishita, Supriya, all are saying C. Wow. You all are fantastic students, or I think we are fantastic trainers. Credit goes to all of us. And you all have been attentive. Yes, the right answer is fantastic trainers. Oh, so sweet of you, Prerna. Thank you. Okay. Now tell us who has a very low self-image or who is very low on confidence, in confidence. A or B? A, are you all sure? Lock kiya jaye? Ah, there's a twist. Somebody is saying ah. सही जवाब है A. Look at the T horizontal crossbar compared to the vertical shape, the vertical T stem. This is an ideal case of 1, 2, 3 position, where the T horizontal crossbar is made more towards the lower part of the body. ये ध्यान में रखना. So here, in case of letter, in option A, this is what you see, where the self-image confidence level is very low. B is extremely opposite, head in the clouds, building castles in the air. Number 10 position, what we did. T stroke, which is touching the T stem. Okay, extremely confident. All right. Do we have anything more? Yes. Who prefers to work alone? What do you think? They're not very comfortable to work with the team. A or B? Wow, some of you are like really pro at it. Okay. Priyanka is saying B. B, okay. Read the question, huh? Who prefers to work alone? Okay. Can anybody answer why B? Why did you choose B? Unmute yourself and you can share. Anyone can unmute, that's okay. You can share why B. Yes, Linika. Your voice is not audible. There's some problem with your audio. Okay, it's slanting too much to the right. Ah, okay. But you all forgot F slant writers.
They are downwards, so they are not very confident about themselves.
No, we are talking about who prefers to work alone. Downwards, matlab, they are more, their writing is tilted to the right side. This is more of a C to D slant writer.
Because they are introvert.
Yeah, they are extremely responsive. They are emotionally expressive. They love attention. They want to be with people around. Okay, whereas option A, F slant, immediately connect to the body language. F slant writers draw a visionary barrier between the society and themselves. As I had shared earlier, if you'll remember, they are creative in their thoughts. They prefer to work alone rather than working with a whole team. So it is option A. See, the more you practice, the more handwriting samples you see, the more easily you will be able to evaluate. So we just thought of having some fun with the quiz. Okay. Now this is an activity you all can start doing every day. Note it down or take a screenshot. 2 formations as you see here. Now, especially people who are having difficulty in forgiving self or others, use a pink ball pen if possible. And the first formation of letter S, or it looks like number 8 also. Okay, on an unruled sheet of paper, you just start making this formation. Don't lift your pen. Pen को उठाना ही नहीं है जब तक आपका पूरा line खत्म ना हो. जब आपका line पूरा खत्म हो जाए, then only you lift your pen to go to the next line. These exercises help you to release your muscle tension. They help you to release your anger. You can also take the person's name जिसपे आपको बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा है, जिसने आपको hurt किया है. And while practicing this, you can, with a pink pen, you can just say, I forgive you. Or simply practice it. Forgiveness के लिए तो additional है ये, you can simply practice it. To release excess anger, बहुत ज़्यादा anxiousness बढ़ गया है. To release stress. To improve the balance and coordination between your mind, your eyes, your hand when you're writing. So thoughts को भी stability लाने के लिए this is very helpful. And other is, this looks like an E. Okay. One more tip in your handwriting you can see. जितने भी writers आप यहाँ बैठे हो, अगर आपका E, small letter E, letter C की तरह दिख रहा है, you're highly prone to constipation, acidity. पकड़ के रखा है. Selective listeners. जितना सुनना है उतना ही सुनेंगे, बाकी तो अपने दुनिया में ही रहेंगे. Yeah. Very important for them to practice this E with an openness है E loop में. And again, very good to improve your fluidity, your flow of thoughts. Yes, you can write with blue pen also, that's fine. सिर्फ forgiveness अगर करना है तो pink is also a choice. Pink or blue. Blue is neutral color. है ना? Blue से आप कभी भी लिख सकते हो. Right? So ensure that one page letter S या 8 की तरह जो दिख रहा है और S rather and letter E दोनों practice करना every day. Okay. Now where is this? Yes, it does help in constipation, definitely to an extent, but of course अपनी eating habits भी change करनी होगी. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ किसी को constipation की तकलीफ है तो सबसे पहले before your meals you need to have a bowl of salad. पहले उसको खाना है, उसको खत्म करना है. You need to add fiber in your food. And then you can add, in fact, when you make your salad, you can add cold press olive oil, or you can add apple cider vinegar. Very good for gut health. And जो constipation की तकलीफ है काफी हद तक कम हो सकती है. So lifestyle changes along with handwriting दोनों required है ना? Okay. Applications, where is this science really used? Many applications. सबसे पहले start with self development, personal development. When I had learned, I was 17 and I was a complete introvert. I've been brought up in a shell, very pampered child, youngest among all. Girls convent school, hardly interaction hota tha. मेरे 5 पांडव भाई मेरे साथ हमेशा होते थे, every vacation, wherever. So I was always guarded with bodyguards. Very protective childhood. Of course, बाद में काफी कुछ चीजें हुई, and this subject has helped me a lot and transformed my personality a lot. Okay, very good for child development as a parent. Very helpful tool. Even without your child opening up to you, speaking up what is exactly happening, you would know from his or her handwriting. Overall, yes, for understanding your competencies for career growth, selecting a life partner. So we have a lot of young students. Okay, शादी का जैसी रिश्ता आता है और they feel inclined towards anybody, सबसे पहले handwriting और signature लेके फोटो भेज देते हैं WhatsApp पे. Should I consider or I should not? Just like कुंडली में हम compatibility level देखते हैं. गुण मतलब क्या? Compatibility level, right? उसी तरह imagine somebody with an A slant writer is married to someone with a D slant writer. एक्सट्रीम राइट, मतलब जिसका हैंडराइटिंग एक्सट्रीम राइट है वो तो हमेशा एक विक्टिम माइंडसेट में रहेंगे, बिकॉज ए स्लैंट राइटर को सब कुछ प्री प्लान चाहिए और सी टू डी स्लैंट राइटर को सब कुछ स्पॉन्टेनियस चाहिए. ए स्लैंट राइटर पार्टनर मूवी भी देखनी है तो इन एडवांस बुक करना, और सी टू डी कभी भी बुक करो और जस्ट भागो. एक्सट्रीम नेचर, वेरी डिफिकल्ट to get that compatibility level, right? उसी तरह काफी सारे traits हमें पता चलते हैं यहाँ पे, right? Conflict resolution corporates में बहुत helpful है to understand the cause, what's the problem area, okay? Very good tool for training need analysis, especially behavioral training, not technical, behavioral training. Excellent in selecting business partners. So Afshan and I have practically, implemented all the modalities that we practice. She's an expert in tarot as well, an excellent trainer in tarot. So many years, उनका इतना experience है, तजुर्बा है. So हमने tarot test किया, numerology check किया, graphology से handwriting samples check किए दोनों के. And then when it was more than a 90% yes, then we decided, because we were looking for a long-term project together. It shouldn't be short-term, जो काफी सारे startups में हमने देखा है, right? So it's a long-term association and more like a family now, in fact. So very helpful for selecting your business partner. Not necessarily your best friend can always be your best business partner, because it's important that you have a common vision and a goal and certain habits that will complement each other. बहुत जरूरी है, just like life partner compatibility. Okay. It's a very good tool also to diagnose certain health concerns. Very interesting. Selection process के लिए companies में तो बहुत helpful है. I help brands, especially at senior positions, CXO level पे, mid management level पे. So the brands basically share their job profile and we decide on certain competencies they're looking for. And based on the candidate's handwriting, without knowing who the candidate is, we can evaluate sitting at home that whether the person is fit for that particular job role or not. And you should never declare in the report, usko hire nahi karna. You can just make the employer cautious about certain areas. Decision is theirs. You don't be a decision maker. You're a catalyst who will give guidance. Okay. Definitely helpful for employee retention. See, employee exit is such a point where very few employees open up and actually share their reason of exiting from the company. Something triggers them in the current job. इसी के लिए दूसरी job वो try करते हैं. सब बताते हैं that growth हो रहा है ना? काफी बार salary increment हुआ है. It may not be true always. It can be a problem with the immediate boss. So immediate boss और जो employee अगर asset है company का, it's very good, he or she, तब definitely हम handwriting samples लेके find out कर सकते हैं, and you can break the ice. Confidentiality से आप बात कर सकते हो if you are at that profile, right? So I have helped the brands that I've worked with to retain very good assets of the companies and to let go which were actually liabilities. Okay, employee development के लिए बहुत helpful है. As I said, training need analysis के लिए help होता है and enhancing teamwork. Outline of some of our services. Most of you already do know what we practice. Reiki, of course, Afshan is excellent at it, है ना? And also she conduct workshops for the same, guidance, counseling. So Afshan's main USP is वो आपकी drawing से prognosis बताते हैं that what is the root cause of your issue. You may come with a headache, but root cause hai emotionally. When it comes to behavior, she'll identify and guide you, and then depending on her expertise, she will decide the line of therapy. So she takes online and offline counseling sessions, relationship counseling for career also, for children also, you know. And children ke case mein we have seen parents need more of counseling than the child. Right, Afshan?
Yes, you don't have to counsel the child. If the child is below 6 or 7,
Correct.
the parents need counseling. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. Then in case of numerology, typically people come to us in two areas. One is when they want to rebrand their company or they are a startup. है ना, खुद की company शुरू करना चाहते हैं. So then what should be the name of the company? We work as a team. We have one more expert on board who is a clairvoyant and a Vastu painting artist. We work together to design even the logos. Okay, based on graphology, numerology, and his expertise in Vastu painting, what is the most suitable one? You get to know your most favorable colors and colors that you need to avoid when it comes to your brand communication, your website, right? And accordingly, we also do help with personal profiling, where there is an in-detail analysis done, where you get guidance for the next 5 years, how your journey is going to be, certain remedies, favorable dates that you can start something new, certain dates that you need to avoid delays in your life. Then also your name analysis is done and your signature analysis is done through numerology and graphology both. We use the combination of both. Okay, then of course tarot, a lot of you have taken service or you have learned tarot from us. Tarot, we always consider it as a guidance tool, right? Chakra healing, chakra diagnosis, most of you have learned it through pendulum dowsing workshops, right? Meditation, hypnotherapy, and there is a lot more. Okay, batch flower, very important. We'll talk about it towards the end. I'll invite Afshan to speak about it. We have helped over 1,000+ people already in the last 4 years. Some of our offline, and then of course our online transition then happened with meditation initiatives and workshops. As you can see, this was at Vodafone where I was invited to do Grapho. It was Women's Day, but most of the men were more excited about it. Okay, we'll move forward. Oops, sorry. 1 second. Yeah. Now, why should one learn this subject? Or if you're a teacher, educator, healer, professional, even a homemaker for that matter. First of all, for your own audit, very important for self-help, self-development. If you want to pursue your career specifically in the field of children, a child development, very helpful to understand the psychology, the behavioral pattern, the emotions, because everything roots from our childhood, right? Very difficult to change adults, provided the person is willing to change himself. But बच्चे को हम फिर भी mold कर सकते हैं, correct? Very helpful again, you know, in case if specifically if you're in the area where you're interacting with children, okay, families rather. So overall, to develop a healthy ecosystem for students, extremely helpful. And if you're already working at a leadership position, तो बहुत ही helpful है to understand your team members better. So that, as I said earlier, आप उस तरीके का काम उनको delegate कर सकते हो. Why learn from us? Already we've shared a brief about our profile, and more than 40 years plus experience here. With HR background, again, helps, gives a better understanding in terms of analyzing and evaluating through handwriting analysis. Ab main kya hai na? We teach you graphology as a subject in 3 areas. First is your observation, which we saw today, right? Second is your interpretation, how you interpret. Second is analysis, sorry, and third is interpretation. For example, if let's say that somebody comes to you and their handwriting shows tendency of dishonesty or self-harm, you cannot confront the person suddenly by saying, oh, you are a liar. You can't label people. So it's very important on how you communicate your observation, your analysis to the client or to somebody who is known. So that also you would be trained, and we of course do several case studies. Assignments are given as well in the course. Okay. Organize every Saturday and Sunday, especially tarot and numerology.
Oh God.
Okay, Prerna. Some of the feedback. Yeah. So certain case studies, one of them I would like to share just in brief, and next 5 minutes we will close. Okay. So this first feedback that you see is a case of an investment banker, but he's working as an MD at a very good investment banking firm. And इनको तो belief ही नहीं था graphology पे, क्योंकि पता ही नहीं था. When you're not aware, then obviously the belief level is low. इन्होंने just to test, I had told him 2-3 times, एक बार आप try कर लो आपके employees के लिए, है ना? Initial stage of my career, in fact. So he said, okay, just because you're mentioning about it, let me experiment with 2 employees. और उन्होंने एक्चुअली एम्प्लॉयज के बारे में जानने के लिए राइटिंग दिया ही नहीं था. दैट वाज जस्ट टू टेस्ट whether this really works. So there was an employee A who was a very old employee, very reliable one according to him, and employee B जिन्होंने newly company join किया. बैकग्राउंड मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता था. I shared my analysis where I had mentioned that employee A के case में there is a possibility that he can leak out confidential information of the company outside to your competitors. और तभी वो कंपनी एक्सपीरियंस कर रही थी वही सब चीजें. लॉट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल रिकॉर्ड वाज गोइंग आउट, बट ही डिडंट गिव मी एनी बैकग्राउंड. एंड एम्प्लॉय बी जो नया है उनके केस में ही विल बी लॉयल, ही विल बी ऑनेस्ट टू द ब्रांड. सो व्हेन माय एनालिसिस वेंट टू दिस एमडी, फर्स्ट थिंग वाज he felt he very proud about himself because he didn't believe it. अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम काफी बार ऐसा होता है ना कि हम पुराने एम्प्लॉयज पे ज्यादा ट्रस्ट रखते हैं, है ना? एंड वी ओवर हेल्प देम ऑल्सो, वी कंसिडर द सेम इनपुट फ्रॉम देयर साइड. एंड एम्प्लॉय भी तो न्यू था, तो वैसे भी उनको ट्रस्ट फैक्टर था ही नहीं. एंड आफ्टर द न्यू एम्प्लॉय जॉइंड, ऑल दिस इश्यूज स्टार्टेड राइजिंग अप. After almost 4 to 5 years, I received exactly this testimony on email to me. This gentleman was not in touch with me at all. And he has mentioned that I did not take her seriously on the analysis done. She remained persistent, okay, and I reluctantly agreed to test her capabilities. So to test my capabilities, analysis kiya senior members ka. He was convinced that there was an error on my part, and since I had mentioned one of the team members as not trustworthy, it was a complete contrast to what their belief was. And then they realized that the old employee only was the one who was leaking out all the proprietor data to their competitor, and they realized when he joined their competitor. Okay, so Graphology is a fantastic tool. There's an image consultant who has shared her profile. This is a lady who works at a senior management position in the corporate, and it has helped her a lot to understand her daughter very well and what change she needs to make in herself as a mother to improve the compatibility level and relationship between mother and daughter. There were a lot of issues, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of anger from the child towards mother, extremely high. But reason ही समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. So it can help in various aspects. Again, we have an IT professional who had learned before lockdown. In fact, she had learned graphology, and this is what she has to share. We'll share the testimonies also in the group, in fact, right? Kavita Nayak from IT. Okay, now when we talk about what will you learn, topics to kafi hai. More than topics, what I would like to highlight is the whole workshop is worth 29,999, but we are offering it only at 499. With 18% GST, it comes to 5898. Today you can book your slot at just rupees 999. What will be covered? We're going to have 10 sessions, 10 days, 2 hours each. 2 hours ka 2.5 bhi ho sakta hai, depending on Q&A and how the topic takes forward. It's just we go with the flow, right? More than 10 plus different case studies, means different samples, handwriting samples we are going to study here. And there will be certain assignments also that will be given to you. And as I shared earlier, you are not only going to learn to observe and analyze, but you will also learn to interpret. So towards the end of the course, we'll give you all some time to practice on your own study also. And we can have a buddy system where randomly people who are going to be a part of the workshop for module 1 and 2, you will be given a partner, and on the spot, the handwriting sample will be shared with you. Afshan and I would be the observers. You would evaluate the person based on the handwriting on Zoom in front of us. Okay, so that will be a live experience also for you. All right. Additional benefits for you. Of course, personally, all the participants would be given an in detail session you will have with us through your handwriting analysis. Okay, which is worth 6,000 for free. This will be done on Zoom again. Please be on mute. कोई तो जाग गया है suddenly. यहाँ पे तो सब mute पे ही दिख रहे. Okay, all right. And on enrollment of Beena ji, I've kept you on mute. Yeah. If along with you, you get a budding partner to learn this course, this workshop in the batch that we are starting now in December itself, then you will get additional 500 rupees off on the total course fees. Okay. And definitely it's a fantastic opportunity for you to create a better ecosystem, and also it can add on to your income potential gradually. So the new batch will start from 25th of December to 5th of Jan. Beach May 31st December and 1st Jan, we have kept 2 days break. So totally it's going to be spread out in 10 days. All right, 2 to 2.5 hours each. On an average, 20 to 24 hours ka ye pura workshop rahega. Okay. And you all can scan here right now if you would like to book. Yes, certificate will be given. What will be the time? Okay, so basically this workshop is going to be conducted every day between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. and we will share the recording also. Okay, for those in case you are working and you have missed it. Otherwise, it will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Second option is we all connect in the night, those who have missed in the morning or those who want to practice the subject again, where the same morning recording will be played at night live. Clear? So 2 hours ka everyday study hoga. All right. Yeah, so that option is there, Neha. Okay. So all those who would like to enroll, you all can, we will share in the group also the QR and the bank details. You all can enroll by paying 999 or you can enroll by paying the full amount itself. Because वैसे भी workshop 25th December से start हो रहा है. Before that, you need to make the payment of the full amount. Okay, any questions so far? And the magic is in believing in yourself. Remember that always. Okay, let me see if there are any questions here. How many days? It's for 10 days, Veena. 25th December to 4th Jan. In between 2 days break we'll have. That's on 31st December because a lot of people have plans to go out with their family and friends. 31st and 1st we take a break. Otherwise, every day live. So how many of you are in to enroll and dive into this modality to learn more about graphology? Priyanka ne pehle hi me likh diya. Very nice. I know, Priyanka, you have been waiting for this workshop since a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic. Neha also is saying, oh, me. Yes, who else? Okay, Beena. Beena, may nahi hota hai. Yes or no hota hai. Okay, Beena has raised her hand as well. You want to share something? Dr. Sadhana is saying me. Fantastic. Great, great, great. Linika. Okay, great. Superb. We would love to have you all in this course. And of course, you will see a lot of change in yourself firstly. Okay, yes. Now let's invite Afshan for 2 minutes. Afshan, if you would like to add something. Are you there? Yeah.
Yes, I am there.
Okay, perfect.
And in case if you get a partner, then as Turki said, a 500 rupees discount for you as well as her
Right.
or him.
Perfect.
Oh, it was wonderful, Trupti.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Afshan, about Batch Flower, would you like to just give a brief?
Back flowers, yes. We are starting a new course on back flowers. They are nothing but flower essences which can be used to help if you say it's a F slant writer, then there is a back flower for that person. If there is a T stroke which is high flying, that is making castles in the air and not succeeding because of that, there is a back flower for that. So we are going to connect back flower together with your graphology also, a little bit.
Yes.
And we are starting that course, I think, in the month of January or February, because
Feb.
we are working on it from the past 4 months and
Yes.
another 2 months. To
All
go.
our workshops, we ensure that every day we actually, sit down, every day we connect, and everything is documented and written by us. Well studied, and then the workshop is designed. It's
Yeah,
not
and
copy-paste.
and we are going to club the back flower with graphology, with healing codes, and what else, Trupti?
Healing codes, switch phrases,
Switch phrases,
affirmation deck.
affirmations. So it's really going to be good. If you want to make a career out of consulting, you can definitely do all these courses and become consultants. Of course, with our guidance. Okay, I think it's quite late now, Trupti.
Yes, we'll have a quick photo together. So can we have all the videos on?
People must have changed into their night suits.
Ah.
They won't
कोई
come.
बात नहीं. Should be ready here. We will take a. Give me 1 minute. Huh?
Smile.
Yes, everyone smile. Super. Wow.
Very
Women
nice.
empowerment completely.
Yes. Of course, women are much more superior to men.
Absolutely. My God, if Laksh would have been around.